Hey guys, my name is Nate Spock,
My name is Benny Hatch.
and you are watching TerpNerds. So in today's episode, we're going to take a deep dive into terpenes, talk about why they're really important to consider, their particular amount that are in your CBD product, some interesting topics. We're going to talk about our favorite terpenes, and let's get right into it.
TerpNerds.
All right, so Nate, for someone who is very new to cannabis or CBD or doesn't really know much about terpenes, what are they? What are terpenes and why are they important in choosing the right cannabis or CBD product?
Yeah, so I think terpene sounds like a term you've never heard of, but actually you probably have. And one of the ways that you've experienced terpenes or know them better than you think is that they are also the main active compound in essential oils. So you can think of terpenes as the essential oils of the cannabis plant. And the great thing about terpenes, and one of the reasons that we know a lot more about them, is that they're also found in additional plants. So research has been conducted on terpenes at a much greater rate than it has with cannabinoids like CBD or CBG or THC even. And that allows us to really see, really optimize our products and know a lot more about what they do. Terpenes are really the component of cannabis that is going to create the intended mood or effect in the cannabis plant. So you'll always see that in our particular products and powder products that we try and take the guesswork out of CBD, right? So we have a consistent leading terpene profile in each and every product. So in each product, we're going to have 3 terpenes that are always dominant and have been shown through studies to create the intended effect you're looking for. One of the other interesting things about terpenes is that they create what's known as the entourage effect. And this is a term that's been coined by a few different researchers in cannabis, one of the most famous being Ethan Rousseau. He talked about the entourage effect and how when terpenes are present with cannabinoids, they can actually create a much greater effect on the person consuming it than if the cannabinoids were found by themselves. So this is one of the main reasons that we advise against picking products that are made with CBD isolate, because it's missing all these helpful terpenes that will actually create much more of an effect, much more of a wellness benefit than if the CBD was found by itself.
2 + 2 = 5 kind of thing versus,
Yeah, that's a great way of thinking about it. I think the sum of the parts is greater than the whole, basically, at the end. So, perfect way of thinking about it. You would always think 1 + 1 = 2. In this case, a lot of times 1 + 1 = 3. So it's really important that you're looking for a full spectrum product. And at the same time, you need to ensure that that full spectrum product has the terpenes that are going to help support your wellness needs.
what does this have to do with the indica versus sativa classification system? How does that apply to CBD? And just talk more about that.
Yeah, and I think this is a lot of the reason that we started optimizing our products for a particular effect. One of the greatest misunderstandings, I guess, in folks who have been consuming cannabis for a long period of time, before it started being legalized in the United States, and we're using dealers or buying it on the black market to use as a medicine. A lot of the terms were known as sativa, indica, or hybrid. And it was always commonly thought that sativa is going to provide an uplifting type effect. Indica is going to give you that couch lock type effect, possibly put you to sleep, really relax you and things like that. Hybrids are kind of in the middle, so it might not necessarily be a complete uplifting effect or a sedative effect, but something in the middle, and really didn't give you a lot of what effect you were going to get. But a lot of the research that's come out just doesn't support the idea of an indica, sativa, and hybrid classification. In fact, they're really just they're not specific enough on what's actually going to happen from an effect standpoint.
They're basically based on the size of the plants, cannabis plants, from which a product came, right?
Right. So yeah, very interesting. Basically, indica is a shorter plant. It's going to have fatter bush-like look and fatter leaves in it. Sativa is going to have more spindly and much taller type plant. And really, if you think about it, who wants to be picking a product based on how tall the plant is? It really just doesn't make sense as a reason to be picking that particular product. What you really want to look at is what's the end profile and what are these terpenes plus the cannabinoids that are present in the product actually going to do or have been shown to do through studies. And that's really the approach we've taken with our powder products. And we have a leading terpene profile in each and every product that has been proven through research and studies to create the intended effect that the user is looking to experience.
All right, so we want to discuss real quick. There have been, I think, over 200 terpenes identified in cannabis. They're also found in a wide range of other plants, fruits, herbs, but there are a few terpenes specifically that are of the most prevalent terpenes found in cannabis that you'll come across inevitably in a number of different strains and types of CBD products. What are those?
Yeah, I would say that the most common terpene found in cannabis is probably myrcene. Myrcene is a very unique terpene in that it can create a lot of relaxation type effect. It's been shown to have sedative qualities. And going back to our conversation about sativa, indica, things like that, a lot of the research that backs up that indica creates that couch lock type effect is due to its high amount of myrcene. So if you're ever, you're consuming a THC product, you're consuming a CBD type product, and you start to feel like you're a little bit fatigued or, very relaxed or, starting to fall asleep basically and didn't really want that type of effect, it's probably, the main reason for that effect is probably the myrcene content within the profile. Another one that is very common is called alpha-pinene. Alpha-pinene is also found in pine needles and creates a very focused type effect. So it can actually counteract a lot of the effect that myrcene is going to create. One of the other benefits about alpha-pinene is it can keep you very focused. It's been shown to increase memory retention. So a lot of people, when they consume THC, short-term memory is something that can kind of fall to the wayside. And if you consume a product that's high in alpha-pinene, it can really help counteract that effect and can create the focus and the memory aid that's going to allow you to really get stuff done while you're also getting the benefits of the CBD or the THC product you're trying.
Another one would probably be, limonene?
Yeah, limonene is, very common. It's also found in citrus rinds. And, I think you talked earlier about its effect as a antidepressant type formula. There's the study in Japan where they compared it to people who were using SSRIs, and they were able to reduce the amount of people who were taking SSRIs for depression by 50%. So limonene really has a very mood boost, antidepressant type experience that it can offer. And, it's really a good terpene to have in your profile if you're looking to enjoy your day, have a little mood boost, still get the wellness benefits of the CBD, the THC, or whatever cannabinoid you're enjoying it with.
Another thing we want to touch upon is we discussed how terpenes have actually been studied at a much greater rate than cannabis compounds like CBD because they haven't had the same class 1, schedule 1 classification as cannabis. So there actually is a really good amount of research on these different terpenes and what their effects are, what they are medicinally good for. There are a few specific resources we want to direct folks towards. First and foremost, on our website, we have a whole terpene section as well as the powder effects grid, which is a modest chart that maps out and ties some of the effects and properties of specific terpenes. If you're looking to take a deeper dive into some of the specific research studies that have been conducted on terpenes, there's a great company based in Framingham, Massachusetts called MCR Labs. They're a cannabis, third-party cannabis testing facility, and they have a great database of various different research studies that have been conducted on terpenes as well as cannabinoids, and they categorize it kind of by medicinal effect and benefit. So if you're trying to find a terpene that is, has anti-inflammatory properties, you can go right on their database. We'll provide a link in the description, and you can do your own research and kind of figure out what terpene or terpene combinations might be best for your needs.
Yeah, and I think there's so many different terpenes that it's going to be too much content to actually cover in YouTube videos. We'll always try and, at least highlight one or two different terpenes each episode if we can, as long as we have the time and the video is not getting too long. But if I could just leave you guys with one thing before we kind of wrap up today's episode is, think of terpenes as what's going to create the mood effect that you're looking for, and always consult the lab report to make sure not only that the CBD or the THC that you were looking for is at the right quantity and that the marketing of the product is accurate, but additionally look for the top 3, 4, 5 terpenes. Do a little quick research, make sure you're using trusted sources like MCR Labs or Potter Hemp at our website, which links to research-backed studies. And that will really help make sure that you're getting the intended experience. The one other benefit of terpenes is that they have broad antibiotic type effects. So almost all terpenes actually create, they can be really good for infections, fighting infections, all kinds of different things like that. So one of the main, if you're going to leave with anything, they're going to create moods. They're also going to have a lot of other additional medicinal benefits that can really help you.
And you can follow us on Instagram and our other social media accounts. Check out our Terp Tuesday series every Tuesday. We're posting about a different terpene and a few quick facts and interesting tidbits on said terpene. If you like our content, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also push it to all of our social accounts, but if you subscribe, you can stay up to date on all of our new TerpNerds videos, as well as other content outside of this series that we're definitely going to be posting. And thank you for watching. Hope everyone has a great week. And as always, let your health
soar higher.